just want to first thank you as a shareholder and a client in regards to Vanguard's job of our portfolio. The question is actually two separate parts of the question. One, leadership, other, industry. The leadership part, what does Vanguard do, or how does it do regarding employee training and cultivating and empowering their employees? The industry question, noting the exponential growth in ETFs, and you being, Vanguard being a low fund mutual fund, where do you see the growth in it?
Yeah, so two very distinct questions. So the leadership question, we, about a decade ago, established what we call Vanguard University. And so we decided to build an in-house training facility that would would really avail our people of a lot of opportunities to learn firsthand from great faculty, but also senior leaders in the company. And so we devote an inordinate amount of money, time, and energy to that. And again, the payback has been infinite. It's been phenomenal. We also encourage people to do advanced degrees. So right now, so we've got 13,000 people. I think we've got something on the order of between 1,100 and 1,500 people enrolled in advanced degrees, here, St. Joe's, Drexel, wherever it may be, but quite a number of people pursuing advanced degrees. So we've just tried to make it really easy for people to do that, and we think that's really important. In the leadership, everybody, when they transition from being an individual contributor into a leadership role, which is a big deal, because the kind of work we have, you can have a really fulfilling career being an individual contributor. You can write code, and very sophisticated code as an IT programmer. You might be a portfolio manager and do some really interesting things, or a trader. You could be a client service person where you have your own book of business and you're really working very hard on behalf of your clients. So there's all these tremendous individual contributor roles, but when somebody steps up to be a leader, we're really excited, and we put everybody through the initial thing is a 1-week off-site course. And we've run this, since we revamped this, we've run it, I think, 70 times now. And the 25 or 30 senior-most people out of the 13,000 teach most of the course. And it's a real privilege to be asked to teach. And it was interesting, I was at graduation yesterday for one of the cadres that just finished. And I said, what was the most remarkable thing for you guys? And to a person, they said, we can't believe the amount of time the senior leadership spent here in the classroom. And they cited a couple of my colleagues, our head of HR, so she's in charge of HR for the entire company. She's one of my closest direct reports. And she spent 2 days in the classroom with this group, imparting sort of her experiences and what she's seen. And they were blown away by it. And so I think you have to have that sort of commitment if you're going to really have a good leadership group. The industry question around ETFs. So for those of you who aren't investment savvy, exchange traded funds are a new phenomenon. Actually, they're not a new phenomenon, but they've sort of become a really prominent phenomenon in the last decade. And what they are is they are index mutual funds, but unlike traditional mutual funds, you can actually trade them. So if you think about the S&P 500, the first ETF was a SPDR. And so it was a basket of securities that represent the S&P 500, and it could be bought or sold on an exchange. We have an index mutual fund that's can't be bought or sold except once a day, and was for much more oriented for long-term investors. In the early days of ETFs, they were seen as really a trading vehicle. And we weren't very much interested in that because, we think short-term trading actually is not a good thing as an investment principle. I didn't spend a lot of time on investment principles, but that's one of them for us. But what we've seen is the use of ETFs has morphed. And we're now seeing ETFs as a much more permanent part of individuals' portfolios or individuals who are using an advisor's portfolios. And we think that's a good use. And so we've been promoting that. So we're not fans of people who are day trading ETFs. In fact, we think it's deleterious to your financial health. But if you buy an ETF instead of a traditional index fund and you're going to hold it forever and make it part of a long-term balanced portfolio, it's a perfectly acceptable vehicle and will serve you incredibly well. And the thing that ETFs have done, which has been a real positive to the industry as a whole, they've brought the focus on the cost of investing into even more. It's even more upfront. And higher cost providers are really struggling because low cost ETFs and low cost index funds are really starting to take a bigger and bigger part of the market away. So I'm going to stop there. As I said, let you guys get back with your Saturday. I got to thank you guys for spending so much time. It's a real privilege to be here, and it really is, the question part in particular, I really love because, as I said, I think I probably learned a lot more than you guys did, and I'll be sharing it with my team when I go back on Monday. So thank you, and enjoy, and congratulations to those of you who are finishing up.